English language. English is a West Germanic language in the Indo-European language family, with its earliest forms spoken by the inhabitants of early medieval England 345. It is named after the Angles, one of the ancient Germanic peoples that migrated to the island of Great Britain. Existing on a dialect continuum with Scots, and then most closely related to the Low German and Frisian languages, English is genealogically Germanic. However, its vocabulary also shows major influences from French, about 28% of modern English words, and Latin, also about 28%, 6 plus some grammar and a small amount of core vocabulary influenced by Old Norse, a North Germanic language. 789 speakers of English are called Anglophones. The earliest forms of English, collectively known as Old English, evolved from a group of North Sea Germanic dialects brought to Great Britain by Anglo-Saxon settlers in the 5th century and further mutated by Norse-speaking Viking settlers starting in the 8th and 9th centuries. Middle English began in the late 11th century after the Norman Conquest of England, when considerable Old French, especially Old Norman French, and Latin-derived vocabulary was incorporated into English over some 300 years. 1011 Early modern English began in the late 15th century with the start of the Great Vowel Shift and the Renaissance trend of borrowing further Latin and Greek words and roots into English, concurrent with the introduction of the printing press to London. This era notably culminated in the King James Bible and plays of William Shakespeare. 1213 Modern English grammar is the result of a gradual change from a typical Indo-European dependent marking pattern, with a rich inflectional morphology and relatively free word order, to a mostly analytic pattern with little inflection, and a fairly fixed subject, verb, object word order. 14 Modern English relies more on auxiliary verbs and word order for the expression of complex tenses, aspect, and mood, as well as passive constructions, interrogatives, and some negation.